Coloring Our Lives is a collection of quotes and spiritual teachings of Supreme Master Ching Hai. In response to the questions of truth seekers, Supreme Master Ching Hai provides insights that are both spiritual and practical. Her suggestions light the way to creating a balance between daily spiritual practice and being an intelligent, talented artist of life. As Supreme Master says, while making good use of every minute of our time to lead a fulfilled, positive, happy life in the process of learning, we can also use the very lively, animated, and joyous spirit derived from spiritual practice to color our lives. Today, we share with you the wise teachings of Supreme Master Ching Hai in excerpts from her book, Coloring Our Lives. The most mystical chakra. The third eye is the true eye of our being. If thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. That is the third eye. Mostly, we see the physical manifestation of God with the physical eyes. But if we want to see God as a non-manifested being, we use the spiritual eye, which we call the third eye. In the physical body, the connection between heaven and earth is in the third eye center. And actually, during meditation, sometimes you see that eye, a single eye, just like your eye, but just one single eye. That's called the third eye, or spiritual eye, or wisdom eye, or heavenly eye. Whatever, it's the same. And the heart chakra is not where the heart is, but it's the invisible heart energy that is around the heart. Just like you have an aura surrounding your body, this is the aura surrounding the heart. And the heart chakra is the place where you concentrate if you want to intensify your feelings about something, about love, even about hatred, anything. That is when you use your heart. But if we want to know wisdom, we have to concentrate on the wisdom chakra, which is the third eye again. We have different chakras in the body. Chakras at the feet, chakras at the knees, a chakra at the sexual organs, a chakra at the stomach or the solar plexus, a chakra at the heart, a chakra at the throat, a chakra here, Master points to the wisdom eye center, and the crown chakra. So depending on the purpose of your searching, you concentrate on that chakra. If you concentrate on the wisdom eye, everything intensifies. This is the center of all chakras, the headquarters of our being. So once we concentrate there, we free ourselves and we intensify everything. You love even better, and you understand things better. Your food tastes better, and you work better. You think better. You create things better. You paint better, and so on. Everything intensifies. The invisible source of wisdom. The mind has no wisdom. It just records what you encounter every day, or what's being put into it. For example, say that your mother kept telling you, don't eat ice cream because. So, whenever you see ice cream, your mind starts screaming and you don't eat it because. It's just like a record player. And the heart is not a wisdom center. It's a center for feeling. That's why when you love someone, you say, oh, it's an affair of the heart. The wisdom center is here. Master points to the center of the forehead. Because we are in a physical body, I have to say it somewhere. The wisdom center is not in there, of course. But if you are in the physical body, you have to find it in there. Inside the middle of your brain, there's a spot. That's to start with. And later you find out that you are everywhere. You are the wisdom. You don't need to find the wisdom. But you have to start from somewhere. The heart chakra is functioning for some other reason, not for finding wisdom. And besides, the real heart is not the physical one that's pounding in your chest. How to develop the third eye. You don't develop the third eye. It's already there. We can't develop what is not material. The third eye is just a way of speaking. There isn't an eye at all. It just means that normally we have two eyes and see things in a limited vision. But if we have the other eye, the third eye, we can see things in the whole universe. That's why it's called the third eye. Actually, the soul doesn't need the eye to see, doesn't need ears to hear, doesn't need any sensory apparatus to perceive things. That's the highest truth. That's the highest perception, without having to use any fleshly instruments. That is our soul power, the supreme master within us, which knows all things, hears all things in all ways, everywhere. The supreme I. If we want to see our own nature or our Buddha nature, we have to see through a different eye, through a different perception. This eye is what we call the wisdom eye, or Buddha's eye, the heavenly eye, or what the Christians call the single eye. Jesus said, "If thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of inner heavenly light." What does that mean? Should we put our eyes together and make them become one like cross-eyed people? No. Even like that, we will see no inner heavenly light. So the eye that is mentioned in the Buddhist scriptures, the Christian Bible, and the other scriptures is not the physical eye, but the single eye within our wisdom, within our ocean of consciousness. Actually, there is no eye. But because we can see everything from heaven to hell, from this world to the Buddha's land, we call that an eye. So, to open this eye, we need someone who can show us the way to do it. Just like when we want to drive a car, we need someone who already knows how to drive the car to help us. The source of eternal happiness. The only source of happiness is inside. So whenever you meditate, try to get in touch with that source. It's only one little center inside the so-called brain. It's there, physically, inside the brain. Every little nerve and center is responsible for something in our being, psychologically, emotionally, and physically. And another one is spiritually responsible for our enlightenment and eternal happiness. There is a little center, almost in the middle of the brain physically. From here, Master points to the middle of her forehead, and here, the top of the head. Go inward into 2/3 of the head. The wisdom eye center must be there, really inside. So when you look with the wisdom eye, it means you are trying to make contact with that center. Even just sometimes, when you make contact there, in just a matter of seconds, you immediately feel different. Of course, you cannot always get in touch with that center, or you are not consciously always in touch with that center. But keep practicing. Practice makes the master. That's what we do. You cannot always keep on giving. You will be depleted if you give with the ego or the physical strength of an ordinary human being. Then you will come down in your spiritual practice, and you will become bad and sour. And that's how many so-called gurus became bad, sour, and degraded after some time. Perhaps in the beginning, they were very pure, very holy and very saintly. But because the method of their practice was not correct, and was not directing them toward this forever giving, eternally content center, Master gestures toward the wisdom eye center. They gave everything they had, with all the best intentions, and then they crumbled. They succumbed to all kinds of traps and temptations, like the pressures of society and every circumstance around them. But these people are very pitiful. If they are such people, we feel more sorry for them, because they haven't been able to stand themselves, and they have been forced to run. That's why they failed. And that's why I always emphasize to you that you must meditate. Not so that you become good disciples, no, but to save yourselves. Always, always be attentive. Otherwise, it's easy to just pass a day, pass 2 days, pass 3 days, pass your whole life in self-illusion, in bad habits, and not get into a higher level of consciousness, not be able to understand the deeper meaning of spiritual life. Always focus on the wisdom eye. If you're already thinking of the wisdom eye, that means you yourself are reminded of the spiritual center of wisdom and enlightenment. And if you yourself remember that, of course your atmosphere will be spiritual. So that person will, of course, benefit from you. It's just like standing next to a fountain. Even though you don't jump directly into it, some water will sprinkle on your face and make you feel cool. Similarly, if you stand next to a person who's spraying perfume, even though you don't spray it on yourself, you will still have some scent on you. So you're important. Whatever you are is what the other person will receive. That's why, whenever we remember anything about the spiritual center, about our true self, the person next to us will benefit. That's how it works. Peaceful viewers, we appreciate your loving company today for Words of Wisdom.